Okay, well, first off, I think really, I just want to say a huge thank you to Clara, Alessandra and Ben. There is just such richness of information here. And it's a joy to explore other people's perspectives on it. And so, first of all, thank you. And the second thing I want to throw in there is just to pick up on something that Clara was saying. Go to the website and if you like what we're doing, click on the register button. Is it a register button? I'm not quite sure what it's called at the moment. And in there, it'll say, are you a teacher? Are you a student? Or are you something other? I'm not sure what the other is. Don't worry about that. But what we want to do is we want to start to get people who are interested in Qigong, people who are teaching Qigong, all coming together into this place so that we can have this amazing meeting of people, this amazing sharing of information. And yeah, we're in our infancy, as we keep saying. This is the first time we've gone out live, and so come and join the party. Come and be part of what's going on here. Okay, so after the sales pitch for OneQi, hi, I'm John, and yeah, I trained with Clara back in the day. Prior to that, I'd trained in a couple of styles of Qigong, and after the training at the elemental school, I went and trained in 3 other styles. And along the way, I found I was always looking for the thing that worked for me. Now, every single type of Qigong that I've studied, I've gained value from. But I think the message that I'd like to share on that one is that find the way that really speaks to you in that time. Spend the time with those teachers that are helping you. But don't get stuck. Keep moving through if you need to move through. And it's been something that's been really important to me, but I ended up in a system called Qigong. And the thing that I loved about Qigong was the fact that there was just this complete simplicity that was embraced within the heart of the practice. And the more I was working with been training out in China and training with Chinese teachers, the more there's this sort of reframing of the way that I'd practiced up to that point. And I love the simplicity. So for today's session, I'd like to pick up on a couple of ideas, and I'd like to bring the ideas into movement. Ben alluded to this saying of Idao Qidao, where the mind goes, the Qi follows. I think the British version of it is if you put your mind to it, but somehow it doesn't quite sound as esoteric and elegant. So Idao Qidao, we'll stick with that one. So there's an idea here as what the mind does drives our Qi into those places. So when we pick up on the ideas that Alessandro was talking about with the ready breath image, with the glowing body, it's the mind that creates the potential for that. But there's a slight word of caution here, and I'm going to just sort of dive down into a little sort of rabbit hole on it. If when we're doing this, what we're doing is we're increasing the immune system so that we can fight a virus, for example, what we're inadvertently doing is bringing the virus into our practice. And Idao Qidao, where the mind goes, the Qi follows. There's also ideas here about nobody has greater power over you than your enemy. So there's a subtlety in the intention, and any one of us can work with you in order to help to fine tune this intention. But when you're working with the immune system, work with the immune system with the idea of a healthy, functioning immune system. Don't work with the immune system with the idea of, I don't want to get COVID, because one of them builds your immune system. One of them creates a fight with something that you don't even want in your life. So let's say subtleties going on here, but this is what I mean. The way that we work with the mind is all important. So the piece that I wanted to sort of pick up on today was something that has been sort of comment as we've gone through. I know Clara was talking quite a lot about water aspect and earth aspect. We also hear about yin and yang. We hear about all these different pieces. And the Western mind tends to want to go, well, what is yin? What is yang? What do you mean by water? What do you mean by earth? And we tend to go and get stuck in those places and go, oh, what's over here? I'm going to look at this bit. And what's up there? I'm going to look at that bit. But actually, what they're all saying is that everything moves through cycles. And so this point of the cycle that we're in now would relate in the elements to water aspect when you look at it from a seasonal perspective. But when you look at it from the perspective of the day, there's a different cycle. when you look at it from the cycle of the breath, there's a different cycle. It doesn't matter what tradition you follow, there tends to be these ideas of cycles within cycles. And we can make this hellishly complex, or we can make it really simple. And I want to make it really simple. I want to use this idea that everything that happens changes. And just because at the moment we might be in a difficult place with the conditions that are going on around coronavirus, with the conditions that are going on with all kinds of stuff, it's changing. It's always changing. And in order to allow it to change, we need to create the space for change. So what I want to do with the practice is I want to pick up a little bit of some of the amazing work that Ben was doing about opening up the body, creating space in the body. I want to pick up on these things, and then I want to invite you into a very, very simple practice that's called OneQi. And OneQi is simply let go and bring the mind home. And this is, well, in many ways, there are only two aspects to Qigong. One is move Qi and one is nourish Qi. This is move Qi. And so I want to come into this OneQi practice, and then I want to explore variations of OneQi. I want to give you permission to go and play with OneQi, make it your own. I said there were two aspects. There's move Qi and there's nourish Qi. To nourish Qi, we simply bring our awareness back into the part of the body we want to nourish and allow it to rest there. Idao, Qidao, where the mind rests, the Qi accumulates. This is nourish Qi. So we'll spend some time moving Qi, we'll spend some time nourishing Qi. And yeah, if you want to know more about the type of stuff that we do, I've got a big old banner sitting there saying 3 Monkeys School of Qigong. So go and look it up, but don't worry about that bit at the moment. Just come and enjoy the practice with me. So the invitation is to come in and join the practice. So shall we stand up? Okay. So just as a starter, give yourself a little shake and find that comfortable stance. Find that place that you were in following Clara's practice, following Alessandro's practice, following Ben's practice. Find that place. And just to help that along, lift Ba Hui, lift the crown, and allow the neck to open. Lift Hui in, lift the center of the pelvic area very gently, cradle yourself. And allow the whole body to relax. Allow the whole body just to gently sway. Allow the breath to settle. Allow the mind to quieten. And just take a few breaths just to enjoy standing. This quiet place. Okay, we've already worked into the neck, so let's just mobilize the neck. I don't mind how. Just create movement in the neck and allow the space to open between the vertebrae. The intention here is open up space, relax. Nothing complicated, just gentle, easy movements, whatever works for you right now. Open the neck. And then once you've created some space in the neck, shift the awareness from the neck down into the mid-spine. And here, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Release the shoulder blades apart. Allow this simple movement. Squeeze the shoulder blades. You can coordinate this with an in-breath if you want. And release them apart on an out-breath. Allow this movement to open up the space between the vertebra and the mid-spine. Relax into the movement. Notice how you're moving today. It's already perfect. It's exactly where you are. Mobilize mid-spine. And then we're going to extend the movement slightly into rolling the shoulders. So the next time the shoulders come forwards, allow them to gently lift at the front. That may be an in-breath. And allow them to sink at the back. So from the mid-spine, we're now mobilizing. We're creating space out through the shoulder blades into the shoulders. Those American football pads that Ben was talking about. Circulate those. Open up the space. A few more times. And then I want to extend the movement. So we're already working in the shoulders. Let's come into the elbows. Allow the elbows to rise at the front and release at the sides. Rise at the front. Release at the sides. Once more. And then we'll make the movement even bigger. So now from the mid-spine out through the shoulders and elbows into the wrists, hands and fingers. Allow more of the spine to move. Hands rising at the front. Releasing at the sides. Opening up space. Continue. A few more times. So from the mid-spine out to the tips of the fingers, opening up. Whole of the back mobilizing, opening up space in the spine. And then the next time the hands get to the top, allow them to pause at the top. Take a moment, very relaxed. And then we're going to reverse the movement. So gently release the hands down through the spine. So notice the neck, the mid-spine, and the lumbar, all the way down to the tip of the tailbone. Then release the elbows, the wrists, the hands. They rise up. Relax down through the spine. Release. Arms rising. Relax down. Once more. Release. Relax down to the tip of the tailbone. When you get there, just pause for a moment. Then open out into the hips. Pause at the hips. Allow the hips to open. And then release the hands down, expanding the awareness down through the chi legs, down into the earth. And then on an in-breath, lift chi up into lower dantian. Release, expand out into Hunyuan Chi. Gather Hunyuan Chi back into lower dantian. Just an idea of chi flowing well out into the earth, back into the body. Enjoy. And then the next time the hands gather back to lower dantian, allow them to pause at lower dantian. Allow them to pause in front of the abdomen. And then we'll allow the hands to rise, and as they do, open up the space between each vertebra of the spine. Connect up into blue sky, and then draw blue sky down into lower dantian. It may take longer than one breath, it doesn't matter. Expand up. Gather back. Once more. Expand. And gather. Pause at lower dantian when you get there. No hurry. So we've opened up some space in the body. We've relaxed the body. Now open the elbows, open the wrists, open the arms. Release out in all directions. And bring the mind home. Gather back into lower dantian. Release out. Gather back. Once more. Release out. And gather back. And this time, when you gather back, just notice the space inside. Notice the space between thoughts. Notice how relaxed the body is, how effortlessly you can stand here. Enjoy that space inside. Yi Dao, Qi Dao. Nourish Qi. A few more breaths. And then what I want you to do is just expand your awareness out slightly, out beyond the physical body, out into the Qi body, out into the space that you're standing in. Doesn't matter what the posture is, it's how the awareness is expanded out. Notice the space around you. Enjoy that space. And then from there, we're going to expand out further. We're going to expand the awareness into this group, all of us practicing together. Everybody sharing this Qi space. Everyone connected. Everyone's support. And everyone's supporting. Everyone equal. For a few breaths. And then from here, expand the awareness further, all the way out into blue sky, all the way out into the universe, out into Hunyuan Qi. Everything connected. Everything supported. And anything is possible. Anything is possible. And then gently draw the hands back, draw the mind back into lower dantian, back into your home, with the intention of Qi flowing well, flowing around all of the cycles, from yin to yang, around the elements. Doesn't matter what the cycle is, Qi flowing well. We have the space within the body, we have the space within the mind. Qi flowing well. Okay, we're going to ease into the La Qi practice. So we're going to start with something called Big La Qi. Open the elbows, open the wrists, open the arms, keep them going out, draw the feet closer together, become huge. Allow the mind to expand out as far as it possibly can, all the way out into blue sky. And then gather it back, and as you do, squat down. Have almost a selfish moment. Go, it's mine. I'm keeping this. It's in here. And then expand out again. Releasing out in all directions. Gather in. Release out. Let go. Create space. Draw blue sky back inside. Notice the size of movement that works for you here. Expanding out. Gathering back. A few more times. Out. And back. Each time you move, it can be different. Out. And back. Once more. out, and back. Hands pausing in front of lower dantian, standing comfortably, mind centered. So we'll repeat this process, but this time soften the movement. Open the elbows, open the wrists, open the arms, allow the crown to rise. And then when you gather in, allow the tailbone to sink ever so slightly. So chi's flowing effortlessly in the body, but a smaller movement, expanding out. Gathering back. Letting go, releasing all of those things that cause us to get stuck. Drawing back blue sky, OneQi, refreshed, release. And gather. Release. Gather. Couple more. Release. Gather. Release. And gather. Pausing at lower dantian when you get there. Just allow the mind to sit inside for a few breaths. Nourish chi. We've created space. We've let go of things that don't serve us. Now nourish chi inside. Fill that space with blue sky. A few more breaths. And then we're going to use a different adaptation of Lachi. Open the posture, feet out to slightly wider than shoulder width, but a comfortable stance. And then allow one hand, I don't mind which, to spiral out into blue sky and draw blue sky back inside. Then the other hand spirals out and draws chi back, alternating one side, then the other. Spiraling out, gathering chi back. Just play. Enjoy the movement. Both hands are spiraling. Both hands are cycles, spiraling out and gathering back. Letting go and gathering chi. Just relax into the movement. Don't worry about getting it right. Just know that you're releasing, creating space and drawing chi back inside. Each time can be different. It's Lachi, but now the whole body is moving. We're filling the whole body with blue sky. And then we're going to change the movement slightly. Keep going just for a little bit longer. But we're going to bring the hands in together. So the next time one hand comes back in front of lower dantian, let the other hand come in to meet it. Pause for a moment. Just see how that feels. And then both hands at the same time spiral out and gather back. And as they gather back, squat down slightly. Spiraling out and releasing. Spiraling back and gathering. out, and back, out, and back. Couple more of these, and then we'll just introduce one more variation. Okay, so the next time the hands come back, allow the palms to face upwards in front of lower dantian. Then allow the hands to spiral up into the blue sky. Pause at the top. And then push the thumbs forwards and spiral the hands out into the far distance, palms facing up, thumbs facing back, and pause. Then thumbs draw back under the armpits, squat down slightly, gather in. So the hands spiral up, out, and back. Don't worry about accuracy, follow the mind. And the mind is spiraling up, out, and back. Enjoy and play. Up, out, and back. And as you relax into the movement, there's just an idea of all the time the hands are spiraling up and out. We're expanding out in all directions. Then we gather back from all directions. Whole body engaged. Qi flowing well. Few more breaths. A big movement, creating lots of space. Okay, and then the next time, not this time, but the next time the hands get to the top, allow them to pause at the top. And one last variation. Here we'll draw the feet closer together and we'll do the movement backwards. Not as scary as it sounds. Sink the tailbone, draw the hands down through the center of the body. Gather Qi back, and then at the bottom, push the little fingers back and allow the hands to spiral out and up. Draw Qi back. Focus here is on draw Qi back. Here we're spiraling out and we're releasing. But just take a little longer to enjoy drawing Qi back into lower dantian. Letting go. Gathering back. So wherever Qi has been getting stuck, this movement can help to release. Allowing things to flow, continuing round the cycles. And most importantly, taking time to enjoy. A few more times. And the idea more important than the movement, spiraling out and gathering back. Okay, the next time the hands rise, allow them to come up into blue sky and pause. Whole body just gently moving freely, like a reed in the river. Opening the front, opening the back, Qi flowing well. And then to draw the practice to a close,
Sorry, John, we can't actually hear you.
Little unfortunate. Just take a few breaths here with the hands on Duchi, with the hands on lower dantian. Full of potential. And the mind quiet. Let the hands go. Ease out. Okay. Give it a little shake. And thank you, everyone. So, apologies for the slight technical hitch there.